Why, hello, guys and girls, and welcome back to Treasure Cabin. That is me. Plays Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. The director's cut. I'm here in the hospital. I'm wearing a doctor's coat. And, this guy appeared.
Hi, my name's George Stobbart.
Yes, sir?
With a very weird voice.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
Call me George if you like.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my name.
My name's Benoit, but everyone calls me Bunny.
Bunny?
That's right. I used to have this cute habit when I was a kid.
Keep it to yourself, Benoit.
I'm guessing it's some sort of nose twitching. Okay.
Do you know anything about a patient named Marquet?
No, sir, I don't know much about any of the patients.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm only a trainee, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
What? Being a pompous.
Do you know the nurse on Ward J2?
No, monsieur. This is my first day here. I can't wait to get my hands dirty. I was talking about treating my first patient, of course. I didn't mean I'd get my hands dirty with a nurse.
Shut up, Benoit.
Okay, sir.
Shut up, Benoit. Can't imagine any of this. Gonna buzz you.
Shake my hand, Benoit.
I don't think that's a good idea, sir.
How come?
Dermatitis.
Well, I don't have dermatitis.
I do.
I don't know exactly what that is, but I'm guessing it's some sort of germ thing, so should he be a doctor with it? I guess wear gloves. I can't think why I would ask him anything.
See you later.
Right.
At least right now, but now I'm dressed as a doctor. Maybe she'll let me do stuff.
Good afternoon, Doctor. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
You'll need this, Doctor.
She's got a short memory. What did the guy who was in here before?
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay. But first I'd like to ask you about Marquet.
Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Why?
Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know is that Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Okay. I've talked to that grumpy old guy at the front.
Do you know who paid for Marquet's room?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
That's not my concern, monsieur.
Seen any clans about?
Do you have any clowns on the ward?
Why, yes, we do. A professional clown.
I'll bet he lightens the place up.
Hardly. Monsieur Boissy has been in a coma for the last 3 months.
Professional clown. What a waste of a life. I don't think there's any point in asking about a clown. Hey, I did get a stigmomanometer. Precious
What
sleeve.
is this device?
It's for taking the patient's blood pressure, doctor.
Which any doctor should know. So just to add to the list of suspicions as to why he's not a doctor. That's another one. Anyway. I don't want to buzz a polycat anyway. You seen this guy around?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I don't.
Do you want my gem?
Does this gem mean anything to you?
It's beautiful, but I've never seen it before.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Is he waving at me? I can't do out with him. Right, okay. Let's go talk to Hagenmeier about... Oh, shut up. About Marquet. That's all I'm here for. I want to talk to Marquet.
Excuse me, sir.
Aha! Just the man.
I am.
You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bunny, come here, boy.
Everyone's got a bloody awful memory working here, haven't they? Jesus. Good.
This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him?
Yeah.
He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see some real suffering.
Real suffering, huh? Can I bonk him on the head with my T-tool? No, I don't. Come on, I already know you're not gonna, but hit him in the head. At least give me my lips back. Lips. I want to kiss you with my tool.
Hey, Benoit!
Wait, that's not
Yes,
wrong.
sir?
Let me hit you in the head.
What does this tool suggest to you?
Isn't that used to snap the patient's ribs when exploring the abdomen?
Ow. I would hope not. Oh, I've asked him about all this crap, haven't I? Yeah, take my...
Here,
He
take
does
this
as well.
pressure gauge.
Have it.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something.
Didn't think that would work. I just...
Follow me, Benoit.
I'm
He's-
right behind you, sir.
As a trainee doctor, he's some more qualified than me. I just thought you should have it. Oh wait, I didn't speak to Hagenmeyer about my care. Oh well. No, I should go back. I should go back and ask. Shut up. Ah, Benoit stopped following me. Oh, there he is. Because just appear like that.
Excuse me, sir.
Can I ask him about my care? Never mind.
Thanks for your help.
He goes, excuse me, sir. Thanks for your help. You'd be a little baffled. Okay. Okay. So, it was Eric Sotmarsh. Forgot.
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Clown thingy. No.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir,
I can't
monsieur.
talk to any of these people. Oh, wait. I can talk to him. He must be Eric Sotmarsh.
Hello? Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobbart,
What a
and
voice.
I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it.
Tell me about my cake.
What can you tell me about Marquet?
He's the man in the private room, isn't he? That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Tell you what, I've never been to a hospital where, even in a non-private room, you get like 3 beds in one massive room with a statue in it. Yeah. Oh, I'm still gonna buzz him.
No.
Come on, he's probably too weak to fend you off.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, doctor, what's your opinion?
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
Oh, well. You already said you got no cure for it, so it doesn't matter what I think, does it?
What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
Well, she'd definitely be good at sucking, I suppose.
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
Want to see a gem?
Does this gem mean anything to you?
No, Doctor.
Want a red nose?
Do you recognize this red nose?
Doesn't that belong to Boissy?
No. I found it in a sewer.
He's a clown, you know. You wouldn't think so to look at him now, would you?
I don't know. Is that him? No?
I'll come back later.
Well, I think Mackay's around this corner. Might as well just...
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
You didn't ask me to. You didn't ask me to. Plus, I've given it to Fudge Face. Benoit.
Will you keep quiet? You're disturbing the other patients.
I'll keep quiet when you've taken my blood pressure properly.
I have to see Jacques Marquet first.
How come he gets preferential treatment? It's because he's got money, isn't it?
I'll come back when you've dealt with that chip on your shoulder.
Oh, you haven't taken it properly. You haven't taken it at all, dumbass.
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
I just said I'm gonna see Marquet. Just stop walking back to him, George.
Will you keep quiet?
I'll keep...
I have...
Oh, it's...
Just ignore him anyway, right, fine. I've already given it to him.
Hey,
It's
Benoit!
obviously.
Yes,
So he can do that while I go around the corner, because he's a retard.
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
I can use it on a nurse. No.
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Yeah, stand right there as well. Good boy. It was on his foot habit I had when I was a kid. Bye, Sopmarsh, you little shit. And look at that statue. Statue of someone dying in someone's arms. What a good thing to have an hospital. Hey, I can talk. He's letting out some sort of photonic ray from his brain. Hey, hospital cop.
I'm Dr. Stobbart.
Bonjour, doctor.
That's a different man, but he's got that same crazy eyes. That cop that Nico was talking to. It is from Birmingham, England. Yo, Marquet.
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, Doc. Right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was you. He has anthrax.
Anthrax? What's anthrax?
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks.
Anthrax, though, isn't that contagious and very bad? I need like a mask or something.
Catch you later, officer.
Au revoir, Doc.
Well, I have my grease paint test here. You're not going to let me go in now. Still doing it. Good. Can your screen move across any fucking slower? Come on. Let's see if this nurse has some sort of anti-anthrax thing.
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Is it true that Marquet is suffering from anthrax?
Keep your voice down, monsieur. Who told you that?
The cop at the door.
It's not true. It can't be. Herr Hagenmeier would have told me. Evacuate. That's it. No panic. Women and children first.
Has anyone ever told you how cute you are when you go to pieces?
The Ellen George, jeez.
So, what precautions do you intend to take to prevent the spread of anthrax?
My first step would be to burn the bodies.
Burn the bodies?
It won't be easy, I know, but I can do it. Just give me a chance, doctor. Let me burn the patients.
What?
I don't think that would be a good idea, Nurse Grendel.
I'm sorry, doctor, but the other staff put me up to this. It's because you're new, you see. Traditional hospital humor.
Hilarious. So then Marquet hasn't got anthrax?
No, sir.
Okay. That's so funny.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Alright, well, that's good then. I wonder if real hospitals do that. Here we go. He looks fucked.
Marquet?
Yes, I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lachmar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassin.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grandmaster quickly. Tell him that I have found the tripod right here in Paris.
What, you have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them. As for Klausner, he has gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
He has a theory about the location of the...
Oh, don't do the dying thing.
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
No, you haven't. It's clearly the end of the
And
sentence.
there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you.
He's gonna die now, isn't he? The
I
classic
finished with your pressure gauge.
doesn't quite finish
Thanks,
his
Bunny.
sentence. Syndrome.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an impostor.
He's gonna die.
The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Stand back, monsieur.
Of course. Too late again. That's the story. Standing in his way so you can't see his purple face. Probably did the classic pillar. thing.
Hello, George.
Hey, Marquez dead.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah, killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window.
Whoa, that's one crazy picture.
Have you ever heard of the Hashi Ashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again.
Yeah, I don't even see fish with the eyes on. People eat them as well. Let's talk about Khan.
Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
Well, George boy, you just said yourself that it wasn't him, and we saw it wasn't him. So, he didn't have that scar or the right hair. Well, basically, it wasn't him. I got this. This is new, innit? Let's talk about this.
That is not a good idea.
But you're going to be annoyed that you kept it.
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
There's another little hint. I haven't seen Andre. Lobby nobby no no yet. Okay, so I'll head there now. I can't imagine he's a character they're gonna keep talking about and he's never actually in the game. What's the point? There we go. It's gotta be him, right?
He was a thin-faced, pallid guy with a questionable taste in outlandish clothes. My mother used to dress like that.
Okay.
I beg your pardon. Are you André Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No. I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobbart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Would you like my autograph? No. Ooh, what are all these pictures? Well, I won't ask me that. That's a right awesome piece of art.
Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes. It was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes. They gave a new word to our language. Assassini. The assassins.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legend surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
Heard that story before. Alright, let's hear some more about the Hashi.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
Oh yeah. Still exists, alright. Not gonna find specific groups or anything like that. Just mention enough, but there are definitely people who use religion, certainly, as an excuse to kill people. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about that.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochman tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
A painfully loud alarm bell. I can still talk about the tripod.
Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Because I'd never see it again.
Well, don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point.
Well, what's this?
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochman? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived.
I should tell him about the manuscript. I think we can trust him.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much, only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Yeah, it does.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah. Not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. This friend who has the manuscript?
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
Well, since he said he'd ask her first, then he didn't, but he knows her, but then he seems kind of, you know, like a man, basically. Something I know too well. Anyway, let's talk more about Montfaucon.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
Okay. So that's an address. I'm going to take a risk and say
Thanks
it's
for your
not
help,
gonna tell me
Andre.
anything
You're welcome.
important right of this moment. I assume he's going to stop me doing this again, but I'll check.
Attention! Please do not open the window, monsieur.
Don't you think it's kind of stuffy in here?
Better stuffy than dead.
What's the problem?
Not
So what?
they cook
I know this. I know. Let's go to Montfaucon. Montfaucon. Go. Another sewer grating. No, stop. I think we I clicked away.
I couldn't open it with my bare hands.
I think I could say we'd nary it out. That copper guy is going to stop me anyway. But we'll try it. We'll try it.
Hey, you! What do you think you are doing? Leave that cover alone. Now,
Sorry, no harm intended.
you stay away from that.
Got crazy staring eyes all the time. How are you doing, sir? Yeah, just walk past him, George. Talk to the guy.
Excuse me, officer.
What are you and your crazy eyes doing here?
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
Is he pissed? As in drunk? Do you by any possible chance know anything about the temple?
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Police Academy, huh? A very, very long series of films. Would you like a blood pressure sleeve?
What do you think of this?
Show them.
A blood pressure sleeve.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Doesn't actually show it to a cop, even if he seems a bit drunk. Seen this guy around? Cop?
Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
International paranoid. I love it. He's going to tell me interesting.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur.
It's
I'll be
fudge
there.
jar. And what am I supposed to do about the tripod being stolen? Hopefully these answers... Questions? Dumbass. Hopefully all these questions will be answered in the next part. I'm not going to try and pretend I know what part it is. I have forgotten. The part after this one. Probably about 8 or 9. Anywho, please join me in the next part to find out what happens. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please leave a like. And if you feel like being the most generous person in the world, subscribe! Yeah, Jessica Cabin and all that stuff. Ultimately, I wish you a very good day. And I'll see you later, guys. Goodbye.